There are 7 ways that your diet is failing you. And if you've been doing any dieting for any period of time, I can guarantee that at least several of these are the case with you. The first thing that diets are actually lacking in is their ability to promote elimination. If you're on one of the 3 most popular diets of today, your elimination is completely inadequate. If you look at keto, paleo, and carnivore, those are the 3 most common popular diets of the day, all used for different reasons. Your elimination is completely and totally inadequate, and there's no way you can heal with that going on. When you look at elimination, what's normal for you is probably not healthy. I've worked with people with all kinds of scales. Years ago, heard of one woman who went once every 2 to 3 weeks. It was a jokester who was talking about that, and I thought they were just pulling my leg. But we saw that woman later, and she got giddy when her bowel habits got normal. The record that we saw was once every 5 to 6 weeks. I'm not kidding. Once every 5 weeks. And you got to ask yourself, when is that not okay? People think it's great to not have the inconvenience of going, but when your bowel habits are healthy, then it takes no time. They no longer smell. You go in, relieve yourself, clean up, and you're out in less time than you used to, probably for all the times you go. The healthiest cultures in the world that have no incidence of gastrointestinal disease, if you're a Westerner in the U.S., 50% of doctor visits for the gut problems, no incident. They go 3 to 5 times a day, and you might think that's ridiculous. No, it's not. That's what normal is, to keep you out of the doctor's office. So, is your diet producing that? Some people go, well, I go a lot. Okay, so the normal is 3 to 5 times a day. Average stool, 1.5 finger widths wide, 6 to 9 inches long. So you do the math, that's 18 to 45 inches of stool you should be dropping into the toilet every day if you're normal and healthy. So measure that for yourself. Is the total volume 8.5 finger width, at least 18 inches, and 3 inches, or all the way up to 3 inches short of 4 feet? Probably not. You're lucky if you're on carnivore if you go once a day. And the other 2 aren't much better than that. The second area where they completely fail in is detoxification. A lot of that's tied in with elimination, but detoxification needs certain nutrients to do it. I was at a gathering some time back, and I asked several different clinicians, what's the first thing you want to do if you're going to detoxify somebody you're working with? And I got answers all over the map. The wildest one was that they wanted their people to gain at least 20 pounds before they did detoxification. I don't do detoxification. And I asked them, why is that? It makes no sense. You deposit your toxins in fat. So why would you want to increase your fat stores to store toxins to try and detox? Makes no sense whatsoever. But it takes specific nutrients in your diet along with upregulated elimination to be able to detox. And if you're on the 3 most common diets, you're not getting those nutrients and you're not eliminating enough to clear what toxins you free. So you just recycle them. And that's a problem. That'll keep you sick. That'll shut down and dysregulate every metabolic function in your body, from hormones, gut issues, ability to think, brain power, upregulates autoimmune problems. It's a major, major, major problem. Keto, paleo, and carnivore do not address those two at all. Next one is inflammation control. Inflammation is totally controlled by the way that you eat. And there's not one of those three diets that balances the foods that control and moderate inflammation. Not one of them. So if you're on those diets, you've failed the first three. Then we add the next one, energy production. Energy comes from specific foods at an efficient rate. When your energy primarily comes from protein, that dysregulates your hormones because of the way we process them. If your energy is primarily coming from fat, you at best have a chance of 75% of the energy to be burnt coming out of it. It's inefficient. And if that goes for very long, the brain fog rises quite a bit. It's one of the most common things with ketosis, which is burning of fat, is the brain power reduces significantly while the rest of the energy only burns at a maximum efficiency of 75. So we have the key three most popular diets, keto, paleo, and carnivore, failing in the top four categories. The next thing is cellular growth, repair, and replacement. None of these three diets provide you with the building blocks to actually accomplish that. Food is one of several things. There's several different jobs that food is supposed to do. One of them is a building block. And the quality of building blocks that you take in determines the quality of the cells and the cell health, the membrane health, the organ health that you have going on inside of your body. None of these three diets give you the adequate balance of healthy building blocks to build new cells. So where does that leave you? You may be managing your weight in a way that makes you more content, but where is that weight? Where are you losing that? Where are you gaining? And what's it doing to all of the systems inside of your body? If you're like most people, those systems are failing while your scale is dropping. Years ago, I was working with somebody who didn't want to manage their own diet, so they hired a nutritionist to be able to follow my instructions. That nutritionist helped them lose 35 pounds. The nutritionist had no way to measure where those 35 pounds came from. And I hadn't seen them for a while. They came in, said that, and says, well, I can measure you right now. We put her on a bioimpedance analysis, computerized machine, did that. She had lost 33 pounds of muscle and 2 pounds of fat. Now, that's not that uncommon, and you might be shocked at that. I wasn't, but she was, and she walked out frustrated, never saw her again, because she'd never wanted to deal with her issues, and that was a problem. But if you're on one of those three diets, you're not getting the adequate nutrients you need to build new cells, repair old cells, and keep the cells that you have healthy and functioning at an optimal rate. Another job of a good diet is healthy weight management. Now, I just talked about somebody who was really happy about losing 35 pounds, but completely pissed off. They were really upset when they found out the bulk of that weight loss was muscle mass. Do you have a way to measure yours? You may be getting more of a chiseled body, but at what cost? Honestly, at what cost? What is it not supplying you with? Destroying your health while you think you look better in the mirror, but other things are falling apart that are going to come and blindside you when you use up all the stores that you have and you get stressed out where you really need to tap into them. That's when you run into trouble. The last one is hormone balance. Yes, the food you eat determines how healthy your hormones are, and not in the way that most people think. There's a cascade of biochemical responses that goes with the wrong kinds of foods to completely upset your hormones. And once one gets upset and starts to fail, the others try and take up the loss. They can't do it. They burn out, and you have a very rapid progression of complete hormonal dysregulation. This is the most common place where we see people that we work with come in that have complete hormonal dysregulation. That tends to affect women a whole bunch more than men, and there's a reason why. It's not because they're inferior, it's because a large part of the toxicity in the world is in the form of estrogenic compounds. They just have a whole bunch more estrogen receptors than us men do. It makes them more vulnerable. And they have to pay more attention to their hormones and their cycles because they can't ignore them. Men think they can, but men start to lose their manliness and they can't figure out why. Yeah, it was keto. It was keto. They were in the keto program. A fair amount of the people there were carnivore and more carnivore side of keto. And they mentioned that almost virtually all the men in the gym in their 40s was on testosterone. That's a problem. Men should never be on testosterone. Women shouldn't be on estrogens. There's a lot better way to manage those things. You can do that in a healthy way without taking hormones to normalize everything, keep your tissues up, keep your virility up, keep your sexuality up, your manliness and your womanliness to be a lot more attractive to yourself and to others and the ones you care about. So these are the problems with diets, what I call fad diets that are out there. We are launching our own diet program. If you're interested, send us your email because we're about to launch this. It's going to come out really, really soon. It's all put together and it's all ready. You can be on the list to be the first to be informed if you just send us your email. So do that. We'll see you in the next one. If you like this, put a comment in it. Share this with your friends because, yeah, we talk about a lot of things others don't. This one's important. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye.